have already seen the quarterfinals. It was MiM versus Boone.
Boone.
I spaced on Boone there. Now the next match is gonna be Meta. We're gonna follow them apparently, follow them around for this weekly cup against 55 HP Monks, who, well, you've said it. I haven't really been that up to date on the 55 happenings lately. Weren't that brilliant in the last ESL Weekly?
I think it's more of a roster change because it's significant. We have EC back in. We have Eternia in now as well. Apparently, Raisin, I believe, was playing last week. I'm not sure if it was Warrior. I think he was playing Warrior. Zanananan's here. Is now one of the more stable members of 55 HP Monks at the moment.
Yep.
But without Shad, it feels like they've been suffering to a degree. And they've had to change their playstyle and the tactics and the way that they maneuver around the map, especially going with an engineer as well. Not saying that Zananan's bad. He is a very good engineer, but he's not got the same role as potentially Shad has. And also, I'm not sure. Misha was pretty sure Misha was actually playing on Mesmer last week. I'd have to double check. But going with the Ellie, of course.
With him being on Mesmer, this is then one of the very, very few teams playing a Mesmer without a thief.
Yeah, at the moment, that combination we're not actually seeing in 55 HP Monks when they're probably the team that really solidified it, which is quite interesting, really, to be honest.
Yeah, we did.
So we could go through. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, we can, if you want to.
55 builds. We don't need to go through it, mate. Okay. Randomness. Let's start with Zanananan, and I'm going to go for him because he's an engineer, and I like those. He's playing the old school, still with the pistol shield, Condi build. He's playing with free kits, so not opting for that Elixir S. He can still be quite mobile, of course, with those speedy kits. He can be quite useful in different team fights, of course, dropping all that AoE damage on the point, which he probably will be doing as he's gone into bomb kit, also with toolkit, using that for some defensive measures and offering up some AoE cleanse with that healing turret, of course, and also blasting it for some extra healing as well. So good, a little tiny bit of support there as well. Can bring out that supply crate also to operate as a mass stun to save some people, which also has happened in the past, Nick. Going to Eternia, I'm always going to talk about it now. He's of course playing the Elementalist with the 00266 build, of course, which we all know and love, but it looks like he will be using the staff. It's not just for pre-game buffing, and he will be using quite a good offensive side point decapper and recapper, of course. Can take people off the node with the staff to just blowing them off with the air achievement, and then solidifying the point by going back into Earth. I'm not going to actually do. That wasn't me reading chat. That was me saying blowing off, and which in England means something else. And nice. Going over to Misha, standard shatter build, pretty much the same as usual. Going with the offhand torch here. Interesting, with the sword as well. So going for that Blood Frenzy, of course, for a lot of burst out. It's also quite defensive, that skill as well. So it's quite really damage orientated. No real retreat accessibility there, but can of course stealth with that torch. So that's quite an interesting change up, especially for Misha, Nick.
Yeah, and I gotta say I like it. I like the Blood Frenzy because it's the combination of a defensive move with just aggression. Oh, damn it, I'm going down. Blood Frenzy. And while I'm invulnerable, I'm just gonna give tons of damage in their face.
I thought you were playing Mesmer then. I was like, okay. Nope. You actually playing it as you speak? It sounded like you were playing it.
Nope.
That was kind of random. Okay. But yeah, I know what you mean, exactly. And you know what? It actually feels like bringing in the sword with the torch is going to bring in extra damage that they lacked potentially last week, and makes up a tiny bit of that percentage of damage that that Shad also would have brung. So he needs to do that because he's the only burst on their team, which is going to be interesting. Of course, Zanananan can bring in some condition burst.
Well, it's not like tanky comms don't work. We have seen them. They do work.
But for some reason this didn't. last week. You know, it just
Well,
didn't
that might also just be due to all the
practice.
roster changes and practice there. If
Sure.
you change almost your entire team, you kind of need a bit of time to get used to your people again.
Yeah, which is something we need to note, and we'll talk about as well as we go through the games. Going over to EC, he's playing the Guardian, actually, bunker build. He's going to be going for the Virtues build, so a little tiny bit less selfish and altruistic healing. I don't believe that it is a selfish Guardian build, but going for Indomitable Courage and also Absolute Resolution to get rid of those conditions, and he will be gaining some extra boons off of those Virtues as well. Very beneficial for downing. Important always that the Guardian support bunker is in the team fights, of course. ECVM very, very, very aware and very knowledgeable about the game, so there's no doubt that he will not be left on point on his own, and he will be able to rotate around the map. Finally, going over to Raisin, who's going to be playing the looks like Hambo at the moment, Warrior. Very surprising build that we've never seen before with the Soldier's Amulet on point. Did you like that sarcasm? Very much on point pressure with the stunning and also the damage, the burning. We can go into the game, I think, now. Asking them to ready up.
I think we can, yes.
Who's going to take this, Nick? First game, made in meta or 55 HP monks?
Well,
yes, I got the question in first.
if you take into consideration that MiM is currently, as we've seen in the last game with Boone picking up a game, picking up a win, is with TCG, Boone, and MiM. Those are the three really strong teams at the moment. The one we have our eye on because, well, Pizza with Nutella is not in WTS.
Yep.
So, including that with the roster changes, I'm going to say MiM.
Okay. Let's have a look at these splits. So we can see the Blue team being quite offensive already. They need to be, actually, to get onto that node quickly, tank it if possible, and sucker in all the DPS. But we're going to see an early water fight. I'm not sure there. I don't think anyone lagged. There's been no call for a reset, but it does look like Zenananan is still caught around the beach, just making sure that he's going to be able to take it. Like, I hate this, can't get over onto the other node to actually keep it contested. He's actually stuck. He's actually cemented him over into this point of the map. So he's not going to be able to get in very quickly.
Now he might try to just get back at Zenana for that. Nope. Not engaging on him directly, but just wants to help out in the team fight, which has developed in mid. Now Azani positioning himself for a nice burst on Misha, who was standing on the side, and oh, there we go, almost managing to get him down. Immediately trying to disengage to the side. We have Zananan with the support following Misha, and also positioning himself for a possible res.
This isn't good, Nick. We've just seen infamous Shaku run all the way from mine over towards the henge to get that decap. Just as he did that, Afernia was going into mid, now sending 5 players from 555 HP monks to win mid. Like, you can kind of see a reason to do that, to get the node as quickly as they can, but their damage is not good enough and not fast enough to take this team down, which means they are going to lose that cap, although we did see Afernia coming back, trying to get that greatsword, fire greatsword off, and trying to get back to that point as soon as possible. So 10 points there, lost by 55 HP monks because of that decap, of course, from Shaku.
And not only that, we have now Shaku. Well, he would be able to engage, but he wants to keep mine secure. But we also have a big cooldown. We have the portal already out to just to defend that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this mid fight is slow at the moment, and really Misha is the focus target. Of course, you want to take out that DPS because she's really the most effective one at mid at the moment, and 55 HP monks are having issues, and that res is a lot of cleave damage coming out into Raisin and also Zenananan. And just having a look at Raisin's position now, doing a nice job at rotating through the point, trying to get onto the same side, getting behind EC when he gets into trouble, and then getting back on the offensive, trying to put some pressure on Tamir, potentially trying to push him back. And we are actually going to see Shaku being very, very forward and going for the Svarnir kill as well now.
Yeah. Been a while on him, spent quite a while, but 55 seems way too engaged into the mid fight as to even think about going away. If they had pulled somebody off, I mean, who would actually steal that? They don't have a thief, so probably Misha, and with Misha they just lose all of the damage potential in mid. Well,
This
most
is
of
a
it.
real problem for them. Look at Misha's had to just disengage again, using that elite to actually get invisible to try and rotate around the other side of the point, coming out again using that torch 4 to try and offer up some, and actually using that blurred frenzy more defensively than actually offensively at the moment to make sure she's not going down. So this is a big issue at the moment.
And
Again, dropping off node.
Shark again with the decap on the henge, using the confusion and actually MIM's survivability on the midpoint, just being able to sustain 55's aggression on the midpoint. And well, they are pretty much playing and winning with the focus on Misha, a 4v5 for most of the team fight in mid, aside from the times when Shaku goes over for the decap and finds himself in a 1v1 with the Thunderleer.
And Shaku's being very, he's doing a good job. He's being active while he's stuck on that close point. He's pushing. They know that there's only 4 on mid. He knows he can potentially push, maybe even just catching out Afernia because they know that he's the back point holder. And 55 HP monks are actually wiping at mid at the moment. Their Raisins had to pull off to try and actually res up because Zanananan and the Zani's dropped that Chaos Storm right on his corpse. He can't get on there with the conditions because otherwise he will not be able to hold the point. Raisins are going down now. 55 HP monks losing all their players, and on the respawn we have seen Misha going over towards the henge. I think maybe to potentially, I'm not sure if there was a fight still going on there, but now we've seen a DC on the side of Made in Meta actually. So we've seen Afernia going AFK, which is the same class of course. Whether or not this is going to pay off in the 4v4 now could be quite interesting.
Well, at least the wipe in mid, although it will throw them back quite a bit in terms of points, at least it gives them the opportunity to regroup and get out of that cluster that was the mid fight.
I know.
And we're just running in again and again, and just with the complete wipe and not being busy there anymore. They have given up a 100-point lead now, but they were going to lose the team fight anyways. So,
it's just not looking good for 55, man. Really. I mean, this is... I've seen that portal. I'm just wondering where that portal's going for Misha. It is going to mid indeed. So look, hopefully they can come in. But look at the push there. That's a nice push on Talmir. That's actually really good focus down on Talmir at the moment. Really low HP, down to 300. The heal's coming up in 4 seconds. Good focus there. That's better for 55 HP monks. That's really important. More important than they get that down, which they have indeed. And we're going to see the massive pumpkin head of the Mad King coming down onto the corpse of Talmir. So a very good push there from 55 HP monks actually. They need to try and decap this point very fast so that respawn doesn't mean that they're just going to be team fighting the rest of the game.
But apparently Legendary Sammy is the next point of attack. I don't know, maybe they should have gone for a little bit squishier target. Because apparently they don't have the damage to actually get him down. Although, as I say that, down he goes. Is the res in place? We do have the refuge on there. And we do have the res. Man. Two down in refuge. That might actually be the situation that 55 was lacking now. With the aggression on the res, we have Shaku on the side now. Vapor forming off the point. Sammy is pretty much lost. Is down now. Tamir went for the res for just a second. But now... almost a wipe from MiM. We have Azani and Red Levin there on midpoint. Still Red Tamir. He's not gonna last that long, but still the aggression. So if you lose your bunker, then you could just go for the aggression on it. The steal did not happen.
No, that was very close. That was very close. Raisin doing. I'm not sure if he got lucky there, but that was good. That was really good. But you're doing kind of exactly what the same thing what Fake did, actually. And we are going to see Red... Oh, Talmir actually went down over towards the mine. It's kind of stuck in the middle of no man's land at the moment. No one able to... Oh, Azani is going to be able to come up and get the res. Not sure, maybe some conditions ran out onto him. But, 55 HP monks... They're not getting back into... They're getting back into the game slowly, but that was just because of that boss kill, of course. And they've actually opted to send Raisin back to the close.
It's still 100 points. Now. And...
yeah,
if you have a look at mid, we have a decap, but it's still not capped. So
yeah,
55 just couldn't capitalize on the good burst, the good push they managed to accomplish. Just it was a one-shot deal, and now they're back in the defensive position of the team fight, not really finding a way to benefit from it, not really getting Red Levin or Azani into their hands. Although
and the
Azani
thing is,
a bit
as
out
well,
of position here.
Oh god, yeah, and so is Zanananan on the other side. There's some focus coming out from Tamir, and also the res coming out from Izzy. Is he going to be able to get it? I think the amount of condition. Oh, he's back up. Good job from them.
Stomp.
Good job. I think that was also from Misha coming up from behind as well, able to offer a little bit of damage on the opposite teams. They're trying to get the down. There's so much cleave coming onto this node, and 55 really needs to be aware that the point is almost capped. They keep jumping off to get reses up, and this is I think, you know, made a matter trying to push them off node to try and get the cap, because they know that this fight's going to end up
trying to
so
be
long.
the hero, getting the decap on the mine. Azani now getting it back, but that is at least something going in favor of 55. And now Athanalia, for the first time, a decap attempt missed. So this time around, he made it there fast enough. Red 11 disengaging immediately, going back to the mid fight, where MiM is having some trouble as well, with Tami going down, Semi still there, and Sharko on the side. Although those are two pretty, well, they can out-sustain somebody. And also bring Zanana down with Azani coming in from the side. We have the brass banner, and it brings him back up, but he's not out of the woods yet. The damage is still happening. Now we have a better position of Ize, but not enough life, and no cooldowns to the left. Raisin tries to get the interrupt on Shaku, but actually got the... No,
So
did not
Azani
get
got I think Azani went down there as well, just getting the rally up, and unfortunately not able to get that res. And that battle standard almost felt like a bit of a waste, because they got him
and we
back
don't...
up. He went straight back down, using all those cooldowns as well to try and get him back up. You right, Nick?
Every once in a while, like after 10 seconds of you talking, you just, break off. For some reason. Don't ask me why. So if I just talk over you, that most likely has happened again. Now, after they have defended the mine from the aggression from Athanalia, of course, the respawn of Zananan managed to defend the close point. They're going for a Svanir, giving some extra points on the side of the red team. And with, well, let's be honest, still with the stomp coming in, we have still a 100-point lead. Even if they get the mid cap, this is not looking good for Boone. Boone 55, I mean.
Or 55.
I noticed
it's definitely not looking good for Boone, because they're out. They're out
Can't
of the
look
cup.
much worse.
It's fine.
Tami's still on the point. We have 3 guys now trying to get him down. Nice damage there. And yeah, MiM is pretty much disengaged. Down below of the keep, we have Misha chasing Red 11. And Azani is using the focus of Misha on Red 11 to try and get the decap. But Zanana is no Chieftain. We have the Chieftain, and he manages to get the steal. He wanted to pull a fake there and didn't manage to. Azani quick enough with the reaction, not getting the decap, but the creature has pretty much ensured MiM this first win.
Pretty much. I mean, that was... It feels like 55 should probably just go offensive with this setup. They could potentially, in the end, almost like they started to win those team fights. So, you know, you would give... If they put themselves on 2 nodes offensive, pardon me, they might be able to out-sustain them, pick up the decap, not enabling Maiden Meta to pick up those caps, of course, getting those decaps, because they lose the team fights even quicker. And I don't know, it's...
I think 3 points, three single fights, just going for all of them, might suit their comp better.
It's the matchups is the problem as well. I mean, you got to be careful about who you're pitting people up against. Like Zanananan is limited of who he can go in these 1v1s with. Like, I mean, the Thief, of course, he could probably survive that and be okay. Everyone else is kind of a bit of an issue because of the conditions. Probably Shaku as well, actually. Tamir might be a bit of an issue with that Torment, of course. It's a bit difficult, this setup that they have. And I think they're still trying to work out the kinks.
It could work a lot better if they were going for all 3 points.
Yeah, more caps are needed. Definitely. And they just made a couple of mistakes going to mid and then losing that decap, which slowly over time, you know, that happening 2 or 3 times just gave them the lead in the end. So,
well, for the
difficult.
For the majority of this matchup, we had just 55 being suckered into the mid fight. We had one single instance where we had some aggression from Athanalia after getting the cap back on the henge, going over aggressive onto the mine, actually getting the decap, but then losing it after a little while. So I don't know, maybe this map now, we are gonna have the second game on Legacy of the Foulfire. Maybe gonna be able to suit them a little bit better with kind of presenting itself as a map where you can go to all 3 points.
Yeah, I it's one day. I'm trying to remember the split from last week that they did. Oh, good lord! I think they pushed. They were They're very defensive last week on this map. I mean, a lot of teams have become a little bit more defensive now, especially at the moment. More and more, you know, people get very, very, very defensive now on this map, and you know, the Lord kill comes in more. There isn't that push so much on the far point. It just depends, you know. I'm not 100% sure. I think Made in Meta are going to do a 3-point push. I don't think 55 will, and they can pull off the mower, the classic kind of mower move that they do, which they haven't done at mid for a couple of sets now. Actually, they haven't. I'd be interested to see what they do with that. Just going to have a look at Azani, actually. It's got Moa, so we'll see.
Moa for what?
Made in Meta. The Moa move. The stealth Moa move, Nick.
Yeah.
The classic.
I don't
Come
know.
on, Nick.
I don't know if they will actually bring it out.
I don't think so. They haven't brought it out that much. Like, because I know, like, it's scouted well, but still people, you know, do fall for it. They do fail on it. And they sent Sam to mid last time as well, so...
I think we might see another stealth pain train opener.
Stealth pain train opener. Could be.
Yeah. On far point.
So. Yeah, maybe we'll see that happen again. Vintari did a good job from Boone on the last game, line of sighting, so it's not too difficult to counter that. We will see. Ready up, let's go. Let's go, Joe. Let's do this.
I think somebody wanted to do a restart in order to not get disconnects this time around.
Okay. It doesn't really make any sense why I would do that. It doesn't really make any sense why I would do that. I think, you know, I don't think we'll have any problems on this map. Let's do this. I want to start. Oh my god, they're just talking about DC.
Are we there yet? Are we there?
There's some respect.
Wish granted, Jebro. Wish granted. We
Thank
are
you.
about to go into the second map. We have MiM picking up the first win in this best of 3. It is the semi-finals of the 52nd ESL Weekly Cup, and MiM could potentially go through the finals right here, right now.
Song. Yeah, blue team, 55 HP monks being defensive, like I said, sending EC and also raising down to the mid. You might have this pain train stealth combination coming out, going on again to the Ellie, and we're going to see Zananan and also the same line of sight place, absolutely perfect. Good job, as they do know where he's going to go, of course. Picking out that burst, not actually going into the water attunement there, but picking up the stability instead. I think he did go into the, he did use the armor of earth there. And actually, if only as a note, he is using cleansing fire instead of mistform, but that again made him not picking out that burst. And actually, Zoni just jumping behind Afernia, a really cheeky move. Afernia's not even seen him. Oh no, he's just jumped back onto the point. Okay, good.
I think he has seen him, but didn't really want to do anything. Now we have the pot coming up. Issei and Zanana coming in for the defense. Zanana back into the midpoint because maybe Shaku and Sammy might be a bit difficult there. Tami coming in from the side, able to maybe give some support there, because MiM is not looking that good in the mid fight. We have a slight advantage of 4 points at the moment for MiM, but that is really not much.
That's
really
the
not
end
much.
of the game. Completely.
Done.
So do see Misha just getting some free damage down on Tamir, kind of unchallenged, but then we do see, of course, Shaku just trying to put some pressure on him, Misha, to actually just make a move, because he was standing there for quite a while, actually, really out in the open. Raisin still on node for the rest of their team, trying to take down some of the spirits of Tamir at the moment, who's just on node as well, trying to back out with that lining reflexes, and then with the sword, because the pressure really is on him at the moment. Needs to try and get out of line of sight. Zanananan pushing back up the top of the stairs as well, with Shaku trying to offer up some of that water and some of that cleansing and some of that healing to potentially that Tamir can just re-engage, which is now going to happen with the Spirit coming off cooldown, also with that heal as well, and with the Elite also out as well and ready to be used. A good job from them, but 55 HP Monk's not really a lot of focus, although just having a look at Misha, a lot of burst damage coming out onto him. Going to have to bail out of there. Has stealthed, of course, with that decoy.
As
Might be able to
soon as they get the target on him, he is pretty much going to die. Azani already ready, trying to get him, trying to find him. Not going to be able to find him, because he's just out of it. There we go, Red Levin engaging on him. Nice dodge there for the first part. And we have the assistance of Issei coming and directly giving him some heal, trying to get around. But we have Red Levin on the bridge. Nice with the port, putting himself in a position where Misha can't escape.
Now, I don't know if you watched last week's ESL Weekly Cup, but Misha was perma-focused by Sizer throughout this game. And again, the burst coming out to Misha. He's going to die at the bottom of the stairs on the north side. We're going to see that bomb coming out from Zenananan, which is going to mean no one's going to be able to come in for the potential down. And Misha is going to be able to get out of it. And with that stealth from the Torch 4, he's going to be okay for a moment. But the 55 HP Monks really have to rally around Misha to make sure that she survives. And he's going to be okay at the moment.
We have just MiM pushing slightly towards the waterfall, just having the aggression. We have especially the pain train on the side of MiM going aggressive into the backline of 55. Now Raisin took quite a lot of damage with MiM turning around from the ledge and now being stomped on the side. Really no position where anybody could have rest. Red Levin getting the stomp on Misha, and Issei blew loads of cooldowns while trying to get the res off. If MiM plays it right, they might be able to pick off the mid cap in a couple of seconds.
This is the problem they're having. They're picking the right target. Even, like, you might actually think that Zenananan might have been the first target, but always with Misha being that main DPS, taking her out of the fight, and that's it. 55 HP was starting to fall down a bit, and raising his respawn, which is going to enable him to come into this
1v1 with the Thurnalia. The birdie hurt. The bird hurt. We had a lot of burst there from the Pirate Rune from the side of Thurnalia going on Red Levin, but he hasn't given up on the chase. Re-engaging from Stealth. Raisin taking the cap back on Waterfall, bringing Thurnalia down, and again some damage. Nobody in position to get a res on him, and we're going to see the down in a couple of seconds. Vapor Form to get in a better position, but Misha pulling out the portal but dying on it. That's always the stuff you want to avoid. And now the cap in mid going to made a meta, and immediately aggression going for the chase.
Exactly. Just bouncing off that mid cap and pushing, which is really, really good from them, because it enables them to just relieve the pressure of the rest of the map, and they can actually just focus on this node. 55 HP Monks then have to try and focus on some kind of defense. They're not going to be able to push, which means that Meta are going to be able to get their lead ahead a bit and actually just force 55 HP Monks into a more defensive position, which is really good. And now what they're doing is they're actually going to push the side node, which is kind of predictable, and I really do think they're starting to do it now. Look, they're starting to push over towards the mid as well, so they are going to go for that 3-point tick fight. Whether or not that's going to pay off for them in this stage of the game, we'll have to wait and see. But we do see Red Levin going for this 1v1 again versus Raisin, and is doing a really good job in these 1v1s at the moment.
Yeah, against well, the problem is once Red Levin gets caught a single time, just in one CC, he has to disengage, which happened now. Shaku in mid to defend the point, and now we have Red Levin pulling back and trying to assist in the fight, because Misha, and we have the same move again. Azani, same as Misha a couple of seconds earlier, manages to die on the portal before actually going through. Now we do have the pain train pulled apart. We had a bit of rest on Azani. The damage didn't quite come through, but it's still too much for Red Levin to possibly, although now in a position. Now, possibly, no, it's going to let him die. Thunderlier.
Yeah, the best coming out to Tamir there, really close to going there. He's going to go down there. I wonder if he did get that res off from the Spirit. I don't think he did. Just wondering also if that was on cooldown or not. He isn't downstairs, of course.
But there is the handy thing of the Blurred Frenzy. You don't need to know where they are. You just hit all over the place. AoE damage for everyone involved. The Resi as well as the Reser.
Yeah.
The Resi, is that a thing? Now it is.
Res E, yes, that will work. Tamir actually had to use that cooldown on his elite as well just before it was going to go down, so he didn't 100% waste it. Unfortunately, he didn't go down fast enough for him to get back up. And MiM are going to lose this node. And this is really, you know, they're starting to push mid as well. But EC just actually running through. Sorry,
Oh, and we have a
apologies for
pain
that.
train engaged on Raisin on the waterfall. Moa came out. We
Good
saw
counter.
them coming in from both
Oh, and it's off
sides.
node. Oh, no. That's like the worst place to die.
That was really unfortunate. Izzy coming in from the side, but even the Bunker Guardian is not going to survive long. Misha coming in from the for the support. Zanana as well. We actually do have the quarry cap for 55.
Yeah, which is important. They'll look at Avernius actually going to get that door down, and they know that potentially they're not going to be able to win this game based on just capture points at the moment. So they need to either use that distraction to, you know, put the fear of God in the MIM, which I'm not sure is going to happen, or, you know, just maybe potentially go for that Lord, because they need that extra push to get them ahead in this game. Of course.
Well, a lot we have.
And I want a Lord Rush, Nick, again.
Well, we do have MIM. They are pretty secure with the
They will
midpoint, and we do have MIM in the really close range to 350 points. Just 20 more points. That's only a couple of seconds to go, and even just with the waterfall neutral, they're still keeping 55 at bay. They just need to be able to actually group up and go for the Lord Rush. And at the moment, 55 is not making it easy for them.
No, not at all at the moment. It's good that they've got that. At least they've still got the point contested. They're getting some more caps on it now as well. No one from Legendary Sam has got back onto the node as well. The focus coming down onto Misha. Need to try and be careful there, Misha. We did see Azani go down, actually. I did miss that, sorry, just off the node. So they're not actually going to be able to do that portal rush very soon, because they're going to have to wait for him to actually respawn. And fighting on this node with 55 HP amongst so close to the respawn, you're not going to see that Lord Rush very soon, unless Azani can pull out a bit of a ninja move over here.
Well, Azani has respawned, so we might see some preparation for Lord Rush with the portal placement. Only problem there, MIM needs to first disengage from the teamfight they're in right now. We have Red Levin on the side, but he wants to take out Misha. He's still in it. He doesn't want to disengage. He wants to take out the Mesmer, although now on the side we do have Azani in front of the gate. And then we are going to say the portal coming in from mid. We have 55 position now going through the portal at the gate, breaking it open, and that might put an end to this pretty quickly. We don't have a refuge to protect the Lord, but we have a whole lot of other stuff. Misha went down on
that's
waterfall
not good.
somehow. Battle
he's
Sanders.
Back up. That's
Now
good.
going for the
But you know, Red Levin from behind, that's a lot of damage. Red Levin being out of that fight is actually quite beneficial for 55, although there is still a lot of players from MiM over here. The Blue Lord is at currently 85% HP. He's going up. 55 HP got the decap at mid, only 50 or so points behind, but the Blue Lord is going down. The heal comes out as well. Some stability and protection is on there with regen. He is going still hovering around 50% HP. His health is just fluttering up and down, and it feels like if anyone else from MiM comes in, they are going to be able to take the Lord down. So much vulnerability stacked up as well. 30% HP down to about 25. He looks like he's going to go down. Any healing coming out for the Blue Lord. The burst is going to get so close.
Oh, there we go.
Gone down. That was
a ridiculous amount of heal for the Lord there.
That was good support for 55. Good
That was a
on the
really
Lord.
good try, but I have to say support is nice and all, but you kind of need to take out the damage dealers as well. Azani has just positioned himself brilliantly on the side, completely out of line of sight of everyone. Just on the side, didn't really get involved with it, just did his damage, and 55 just tried to keep the Lord alive at any cost, which they kind of had to do, but you can't leave a Mesmer and a Thief running berserk on the Lord either.
I'm rewatching it now on the stream, just trying to have a look where Azani was exactly, because I couldn't see him. Yeah, I see what you mean on that right side, just as you come into the Lord room. That was nice. He was able to pull off a lot of bursts just at that right time.
He only really went in for one close range shatter combination. Otherwise, staying back, not falling victim to all the AoE damage.